Hi folks, welcome back to the channel and another flight with SimPilot 2450. Today we have a fun little GA flight where we are in the Carenado Cessna 170 and we are in Tennessee in the United States. We're going to be just southwest of Knoxville. We have a nice little airstrip. It's called the Big T Airport. We're going to be departing Big T and flying southwest to Dallas Bay Sky Park. It's a short flight. It's probably, I don't know, 60 nautical miles or so. What we'll do is we'll take off from Big T. I'll stay in the pattern once and do a touch and go just because it's a challenging little airport and you might enjoy seeing a takeoff and a landing from there. And then we'll head southwest to Dallas Bay Sky Park. I'm unable to turn the radios on for some reason in the Cessna 170. If anyone can help me on that, that would be great. Leave it in the comments. So we're basically just going to be dead reckoning. We'll be heading, as you can see here, on a southwest heading somewhere right around 233 degrees, something like that. We'll just make sure we keep the Tennessee River to our north and we should be all set. Alright, well, let's get started. Well, welcome to the Big T Airport. This is a payware airport from Project Max. I think you can pick it up for about $5. The airport is located just outside of Lenoir City, and it's a fun, challenging little strip. Let's take a little look at the airport. You can compare it to Google. Go on Google Earth and check it out, and they've done a pretty good job in replicating the airport. You see, you've got a hangar that you can park in if you'd like. I even think on one of these, I'm not sure if it's this airport or the one we're going to be landing at, you can actually open up the hangar doors. This is runway 23. This is a pretty straight, easy approach in this direction. There's the 170. And we'll let you check out some of this a little bit. Done a nice job here. But we're going to be approaching from this end. We'll take off and land to the northeast on runway 05. So you see we'll taxi down here and then we'll turn around. You see it's a much narrower coming in this direction. Much narrower. And the runway is pretty rough over to the left, so you have to land to the right next to the trees. And I'll show you what the approach looks like a little bit. So you see it's a pretty narrow little approach. And we'll come in just like this, hopefully. And we'll hug those trees on the right. And then we'll do a touch and go, and then we'll head to Dallas Bay Sky Park. So again, this is Big T Airport, and it's by Project Max. And I should say Dallas Bay Sky Park, the airport that we're flying to, is also by Project Max. So there, it's a good little look at the airport. Come around and check the gate. Nice little airport. Big T Airport, 80TN. Alright, well, let's climb in the 170 and get going. Alright, we're all buckled into the 170. Let's get ready to start her up. So we are going to crack our throttle. We'll come full on the mixture. We'll turn our master switch on. Come on with our nav lights. And we'll turn our mags on. And let's clear the prop area. Looking good. Clear prop. A little loud with the windows open, so we'll close up the windows. Yeah, much better. Set our altimeter. So as I mentioned to you earlier, for some reason I am unable to turn the radios on. You see, when I hit this, I have a Honeycomb Alpha, and I've checked my settings there, and I've removed any settings dealing with the radio. But for some reason, I still can't get the radio to work. And the funny thing about it is, we'll hear ATC will try to contact us and talk to us, but I'm unable to talk to them. Haven't been able to do anything here. Cannot get it to work. Alright, so let's get ready to taxi. I'll come on with the taxi light beacon. Let's take off the parking brake. See how it's bumpy over on that side of the runway? Check our trim. All of our lights are coming on.
Tango, November traffic Cessna 2450 taking off runway 23 departure to the west.
See, I told you ATC would get us, but our radios aren't on. So there, we're lined up. We'll take off here in 05 and we'll stay in the pattern once and see if we can actually do a decent landing. And then we'll head to Dallas Bay Sky Park. Here we go. So So I'm coming in with full power. Giving a little bit of down pressure on the yoke to bring the tail wheel up. There's the tail wheel up. And we are airborne. With our flaps. So all our flaps are up. So we'll keep coming around. We'll see the fire tower here soon. There it is. Want to be outside of that. Here's the runway. So there's the fire tower. So this is the field I like to line up on. Let's begin our level off. Here's the airstrip. So, we'll come off with the power. We're holding a little back pressure just so we maintain our altitude. So basically we're bleeding off airspeed. And we'll come in with some flaps. We'll trim up for 70. Here's the graveyard. Come in with another notch of flaps. Here's our airstrip right here. Lined up pretty nice. I'm going to come in with another notch of flaps. We might be a little high. Let's see how she settles in. Oh, it's going to settle in nice. can do a little bit of a wheel landing. So when I flare, I'm going to come in with just a little bit of power, and hopefully we can wheel it on. Coming in with a little power now. Let's see if we can wheel it. That wasn't too bad. Okay, full power. Up 3 notches of flaps to our takeoff flap. Okay, let's head to Dallas Bay. So again, we're just going to dead reckoning. So we basically are going to be flying a heading of 233, which is the reciprocal of the runway we just landed on. And we'll climb up to about 3,000. Off with our landing and taxi lights. So here's the runway. Say goodbye to Big T. Heading about 230, and what we'll do is we'll climb up to about 3,000, and then we'll level off to cruise, and we'll take a look around a little bit, and then I'll meet you when we get ready to descend. With the 170, it's pretty slow going. This is the Tennessee River out here to our north, all the way through here. We'll be crossing it. So my hands are off the yoke. We're trimmed up for about 85 for our climb. So here's 3,000. We're going to level off, bring the nose down a little bit. So I'm pushing on the yoke. Back to cruise, probably about 2,400, 2,350. Okay, now I'm dialing in some down trim to remove the pressure on the yoke. So that's pretty good there. I'm hands off. So we're crossing another branch of the Tennessee River. This is Interstate 75. We'll go by a couple of nuclear power stations today. The first one will be the Wattsbar nuclear plant, which is way over here. We're not going to get too close to it. And then the next one will be the Sequoia nuclear plant, and we'll fly right by that before landing at Dallas Bay. So there, why don't I check back with you right before we start to descend. We'll probably be about 20-25 miles out. Alright, I'll get back. Well, welcome back. We're about 20 miles out for Dallas Bay Sky Park. Pretty hazy today, you can't see, but the city of Dayton is over here. Once again, this is the Tennessee River, and our airport will be up somewhere in this area. I'm going to come back with the power just a teeny bit so we can just start a slight descent. We're looking for 1,700 feet for our pattern altitude. Again, we're trimmed up nice. I'm flying completely hands off. And it's nice when you get trimmed up properly, because now you can look around a little bit and not have to be playing with the controls all the time. Making just a slight course adjustment. Again, we're looking for a heading of about 233. Looks like this would be a great opportunity for the Beaver. A little bit of float flying. So we've got just a little over 1,000 feet to descend. The Sequoia nuclear power plant, you can see, is right here. Decrease the power a little bit more to increase that rate of descent. So we We are flying in the great state of Tennessee. So we'll be landing runway 23, so we are basically going to have a straight in approach. If our radios are working, I would be contacting the tower or Unicom to announce our intentions, but I can't turn the radios on. So, it is what it is. Checking our heading here. It's one thing I don't like about the Cessna 170. Real hard time seeing the compass. So I didn't do anything with our trim to do this descent, because what happens is if we were trimmed for basically 110, 115, okay, for a level flight, and now if I reduce the power, what will happen is the nose will drop down so the airplane can continue to fly at 115. And the only way it can do that if we've reduced the power is it's kind of like a roller coaster. It needs to now put its nose down and go downhill to gain that additional airspeed, because it's not able to maintain that airspeed due to the engine setting or power setting, throttle setting. So the only way it can do it is by putting the nose down and gaining airspeed that way. Again, we're going to reduce the power a little bit more, because we want to be a pattern altitude of 1700. And with the haze today, hopefully I can spot the runway. I've only flown here once, so. Again, Dallas-based Sky Park is by Project Max. It's a fun little airport. Sequoia Nuclear Power Plant. So I don't see the airport yet. We're getting close. If anything, we can overfly the runway and then get into the traffic pattern instead of doing a straight in. See all the power lines coming from the nuclear power plant. High tension lines. is 1700. So we're going to level off here. Looking for the runway. I'm starting to bleed a little bit of the airspeed off. So this is, I think this is Dallas Bay here, or here. So the runway's somewhere right over here, but I don't see the airport yet. So we'll just keep going. Keep our eyes open. So this is Dallas Bay. This could be the airport right here, or something right here. Just not sure. Let's reduce the power some more. We've gained a little bit of altitude here while we've been gawking out the window.
1 Alpha Alpha 0 traffic Cessna 24504 miles, northeast 1,900 feet, inbound to land runway 23.
I don't know what this is. This could be it right here. Let's zoom in and take a peek. Yep, that looks it. Alright. So there, we found the airport. Landing lights are coming on. I'm going to reduce the power a little bit. Start to bleed off some airspeed. Come in with a couple of notches of flaps. Bringing the power back. Get trimmed up for about 70. Pretty sensitive on the trim. Another notch of flaps. Come back with the power some more. Because we are high. I wonder what this is. We'll have to check that out. Some type of school, maybe. It's got a track. Yeah, some baseball field, so it must be some type of school. Pretty fancy high school if it's a high school. So I'm coming back with the power some more to increase our rate of descent. We're looking for this to be our touchdown point. So again, we're keeping this same distance here off our dashboard, our pitch picture. We might have a slight crosswind. Reducing the power a little more. bit. We want to clear these trees. Looking good. A little slow, but we're okay. And we'll start our flare. Well, that wasn't a good flare there. Well, I didn't like that landing. We are going to have to do another one for sure. Coming up the flaps. Landing lights are coming off. That was a horrible landing. You can tell I'm out of practice with this. And I tell you, sometimes these airplanes in the sim are a lot harder to land than a real aircraft. I mean, my 140, I don't have any troubles. I can grease it on every time. So we'll come down here and we'll do a takeoff. Fly around the pattern once. Let's get our trim set. Okay. We'll try this one more time, because that was a horrible landing. I think one of the things that I let it get a little slow, and I flared late. So we'll try this one more time. So this is a custom airport. It is a payware, about $5, and it's by Project Max. And this is Dallas Bay Sky Park. And again, I think it's really this airport that has the hangar that you can open the doors. I think there's a write-up that mentions that it's done by the yoke. Okay, so let's get lined up here. Come on with our landing lights. Our trim is all set. I'm gonna come down a little more nose trim. Alright, so we'll do a pattern. So pattern altitude is going to be 1700. Let's see how bad I can screw this one up. So we've come ahead full power. I'm pushing in on the yoke a little bit. There's the tail coming up. Directional control. There we go. We're off. Out at about 80. I have no idea what to use for reference for our pattern, so this will be scary. Looking like flying down this ridge looks to be about a nice landmark to use.
1 Alpha Alpha 0 traffic Cessna 24501 miles southwest, 1,300 feet inbound to land runway 23.
This compass is so hard to read that it's tough to know where your 90-degree points are. So there's 1700. We'll level off, come back with the power. Let's see if we can find the runway. Come around to about 05, something like that. So is this the airport here? I'm guessing. I think it is. I think this is the runway. Let's try to get lined up. So this is the runway, I think. So we'll wait until we have a 45-degree angle and then we'll turn base. Here it is right here. There's about a 45. So I'm coming back with the power, holding a little bit of back pressure just to maintain our altitude so we can bleed some airspeed off. Coming in with 2 notches of flaps, and then we're going to trim up for 70. So now let's see if we can even find the airport. Where are you? Is this it right here? I don't know. A little bit of power because I don't know where we're at. What do we got for a heading? So the airport should be right over here somewhere. So we'll come in with the power until we can find the airport. So there's the school we were talking about. So that must be the airport right there. Hard little baby to see, isn't it? Alright. We'll come in with another notch of flaps. It's a horrible approach, but first time we've done it. And knowing where this airport is. And we're high, so we're going to come in with full flaps. Let that nose settle down nice. It's a hard little airport to find. Come in with a little bit of power here. See if we can do a wheel landing. It's tough with full flaps though. too bad. Holding the tail up. Now we'll let it come down. And now we'll come on with some brakes. There's the tail down. That is one damn good wheel landing, if I do say so myself. I'm quite proud of that landing. Woohoo! That was a wheel landing. Alright, so let's get turned around here. Coming up with the flaps. Landing lights coming off. Well, there. We'll taxi back to the hangar. We'll get out, take a little look at Dallas Bay Sky Park, and then we'll call it quits. Again, the thing I hate, I love flying the 170, but seeing the compass is so hard for me that it's really hard when you're doing your pattern work because you don't have a heading bug that you can set every 90 degrees to really help you square up each leg of the pattern. Alright, where do we want to park? Kick some rudder in, swing that right around. Alright folks, well thank you. We will we'll get out and we'll check out the airport. So we'll come back with our mixture. We'll turn off our lights. And we'll turn off the power. And we'll get out and take a look around. Open things up, cool it off. Alright, let's get out and we'll take a look around. Well, that one's a good flight. Looks like a nice day here at the airport. Let's take a little look around and see what we've got. So again, these two hangars, I'm thinking maybe this hangar here, I'm not sure. You'll have to look in the documentation, but I think one of these doors open, and we can see if this hangar actually has stuff inside. Okay, it does. So this may be the hangar that actually opens. So let's take a look over here. Go up, get a bird's eye view. See what this sign says. Aviation. There's the texture of the asphalt. So again, it's nothing special here, but enjoy some of these smaller GA airports just because of the narrower runways. Just gives you a little bit more of a challenge when it comes to landing. So here's your gas pumps. Nothing going on the outside. I do like the alright, what's happening here, Scott? I can fly an airplane, but I can't run a controller. Pretty scary. I do like the grass pattern. You can see the mowing pattern. I think that gives it a nice realistic look. Now I think we're at, sun's getting a little low, so we may be looking at about 6 o'clock, something like that. Let's see here, 7 o'clock. Let's go midday and lighten things up, and this way you can see a little better. Probably should have done the flight. Yeah, look at the mowing pattern now. That's nice. That really gives it a nice realistic look. We can get down here and look at the runway texture a little bit. But I do like these smaller airports sometimes just for the challenge of coming in and fly. You know, and with your GA flying, you know, a lot of times you don't want to be at a big airport. You like to fly just some of these small GA airports. So yeah. So again, this airport is by Project Max, and it is titled Dallas Bay Sky Park. Alright, well, until next time, have a good one. Thank you. Thank you again for watching, and if you could, please show your support for this video and the channel by liking and subscribing, so others like you can find the channel. Thanks.